this is Chris. Today's exercise I'm going to show you that you can do at home, a body weight exercise. We're going to do a squat. So we're just going to do a standard body weight squat, and then I'll just give you some different options. So the first one is just two-legged squat, standard. What I usually tell people is just start with your feet roughly hip width and roughly straight. It's okay if you turn them out a little bit, as long as you turn your knees out too. So what I'm talking about is, if you look at my kneecaps, if I turn my feet out, but if I do a squat, my knees are caving in. It's going to put a lot of pressure on my knees. So what I tell people is feet straight, and then it's almost like you're screwing your feet into the ground. So you're using your hip muscles to turn your knees out a little bit. And what that's going to do is just create stability throughout the whole system. It's going to support your pelvis and your low back. And it's going to protect your knees too when you squat. And then basically, belly in tight. So what I'll tell people is almost like you have shrink wrap around your lower torso. Or sometimes I'll use the analogy that if you're wearing a corset and your corset's on really tight, or a weight belt, just tighten up around your lower torso a little bit. And then I'm just going to tell people, pull your hips back as you drop your butt down. So you want to make sure you get a nice hinge in your hips, because otherwise you're putting all the pressure on your knees and on the front of the thighs. You're not getting these muscles involved. And I want to keep my back nice and straight as opposed to rounded. So my back's nice and straight, I have a nice hinge, and then I just get as low as I can, wherever that is for me. As long as my knees don't shoot forward, go as low as possible. Get it, girl. And then what I'll tell people is just make sure your belly's tight and just press your feet down through the floor, stand all the way up, and that's essentially a squat. If that's too easy, if you want to do body weight exercise at home and that's not challenging enough, just do a one-legged squat. Same thing applies. Just tighten up around the lower torso. Get a little bit of a hip hinge, almost like you could grip a pencil or a pen in the front of your hip. And then same deal. You just get as low as you can with good form. Keep your back as straight as possible. And then press through the floor and come up. If you have problems with your knees shooting forward, what I'll have people do is a wall squat. So we'll just come over here. So this is something that can automatically correct your form. You don't even have to really think about it. You just get your feet as close to the wall as possible, right up on the wall, arms like so, and then you squat. And it doesn't allow you to have your knees come forward, and make sure that your back's straight, and you just get as low as you can, and come on. And that's it.